In the introduction video to the currency matrix indicator for Tradestation, we talked about the aspects of universal sentiment, of trying to understand the currency pair that we are trading, whether we are trading with the universal flow. And we also looked at the levels at the extremes, whether potentially that particular pair is at an extreme of potential reversal from overbought to oversold. Now what I've done is I've actually isolated out the dollar, really just to highlight this issue, and also show you something else about the indicator itself, which gives you a heads up as to whether sentiment is more bullish or whether it's more bearish. So let's just start with the dollar, and as you can see, we've got down at the bottom here, we've got three stacked up. We've got the Aussie dollar, Euro dollar, New Zealand dollar. So we know we've got strong dollar buying. We've got strong dollar buying represented at the top here. These are moving up this region. What we want to see is this particular pair, dollar CAD, which you can see is sort of third of the way up. We want to see that join its brothers and sisters at the top. So essentially, if we are buying dollar, what we want to see is these move to the top, these move to the bottom. Exactly the same here. And we want to see this on a slower time frame over here. So that essentially we end up with what we call a full house, where basically you have everything stacked, all 7 pairs. You've got these all at the bottom, we've got these all at the top, and so on and so forth across the matrix, across whatever time frame you are using. But as I said in the previous video, you can see here a cable is pretty much mid-table and probably a little bit waterlogged at the moment, so it's not going to be one that you're particularly interested for the time being. Now the other aspect of the indicator is when you look at the data per se, you look at the tops and bottoms. So here, for example, we're around the sort of 24, and here we're down at 26. So in other words, the bullish and bearish sentiment is more or less equally balanced. And what you'll find using the indicator is on some occasions, you will get very high numbers up at the top and relatively low numbers down at the bottom. And what that is telling you is if you see a big differential between the top and the bottom in terms of the number per se, forget about the fact that it's a negative number, minus number, as opposed to a positive number. Just the actual digital value, if you will. If this, for example, were 20 or 25 and this were only 15, well, what that's telling you is that the bullish sentiment is very, very strong because it's out of kilter, it's out of balance with the number at the bottom. When they're equal or more or less equal, for example, we've got 25 against 27, that's fine. We've got 22 here, we've got a little bit of differential, not a great deal, 23 against 19, odd. But when you get big differentials of maybe 10 points, which you see quite a lot, you'll see that happen. You're up at the top, maybe you'll have a very big number, and down at the bottom quite a low number. That's telling you, and equally, if you've got a big number at the bottom and a lowish number at the top, it's telling you that the bearish sentiment is much more heavily weighted to the bearish side than it is to the bullish side for those particular pairs. So it gives you a lot of information. You can, of course, click it all on again. You can have everything back on again. Let's just put these back on. That's it. There we go. Put that one back on, and there we go. There we are. So we've got them all on again now, and that gives you the complete ranking table for the currency matrix across the 3 time frames. So I hope you've enjoyed this particular video. It's a very, very powerful, it's a very simple, again, it's a very visual way of having all this data in one place. You can also have this obviously alongside a chart or a group of charts. We have it running with the CSI. We generally have the CSI, the currency matrix. We've got the currency array, which we're going to come on to. We have those visible with our charting on our multiple terminals, and it gives us all that information. It's so visual, it's quick. We don't have to have hundreds of charts open, and it gives you all that sentiment towards the currency pair that is so invaluable to make sure you are trading with the currency flow and not against it in isolation. Hope you've enjoyed that particular video. Lots more to come. See you again soon, and bye for now.